Okay, and we're
Hello,
starting. Yep.
Pebbles across all platforms. Welcome to the Idiots Podcast episode 56.
Yes. Okay, let's go ahead and show what is for lunch today. It is courtesy of Lady Stone and her hard work at the stove, and it is a amazing tortellini and shrimp alfredo with homemade garlic bread. So thank you, my love. It is much appreciated. It looks beautiful and tastes delicious. Mm-mm. And of course, we have Morocco begging, and we have the one thing he won't eat: shrimp.
Oh,
Lol.
Yeah, for
Then,
some reason, he does
then
not
why
like
is
shrimp.
he begging? Tuk tuk.
Well, he
Silly
probably
boy.
wants the tortellini or the bread, but he won't.
Bruh,
Oh,
just
look,
show him
no,
the
he wants shrimp.
shrimp,
It's covered in
and
cheese.
then he'll know that you have shrimp and hopefully won't beg anymore.
dogs are just overgrown toddlers. They'll beg for everything, get it, spit it out, then look at you
Lol.
and go, "Why did you give me that?"
Or again, you disguise it with cheese if it's something they do not like. I guess it's raw shrimp he doesn't like.
Oh wait, did they just eat it?
Yeah, he
Babies
just ate
are
it.
kind of similar.
Well, great. Now they have a new addiction.
Oh,
I love shrimp. Yummy, yummy shrimp.
shrimp is awesome. I haven't had it in a while. The last time
Mhm.
I had was in sushi, and Tarambo, stop biting!
Oh. Wait,
Stop!
you said you were feeding piggies? What
My
kind of
guinea
pig?
pigs.
Oh, guinea pig. Because I was about to ask
Yeah.
what kind of pigs you had, like if they were
No.
dwarf pigs or like Welshire pigs.
Nope, nope.
Like I was
Hog pigs.
imagining I was imagining full grown pigs because pigs are smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
But guinea
These
pigs are
guys
even
are,
better.
well, they're smart for some stuff, but, mostly just silly brain. Oh my goodness.
But they also make that cute little grunty squeak sound.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Er,
Anyways,
They're
uh,
like
yeah.
they're like what
um,
are those things in Star Trek? Tribbles.
oh, those yeah, guinea pigs do look like tribbles weirdly. But let's get on with today's topic. Um, unusual love slash relationships that oddly just work. Um, the classic, as we all know, is Shrek and Fiona from Shrek. The relationship you think wouldn't work at all, but somehow they make it work.
Donkey and Dragon.
Huh?
Donkey and Dragon.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely the more out
Also
there.
a healthy relationship. Donkey
Yeah.
and Dragon. It
Oh
was
yeah,
odd,
Donkey and
it was
Dragon.
strange, but also healthy. And
Mm-hmm.
Donkey, I think, is probably one of the strongest cartoon father figures that we've got.
Yeah, his little
And
donkey
gives some,
Yeah.
dragons.
but also was a really good dad. I think in Shrek 2 and Shrek 3. The movies were bad, but Donkey came into his own as a father.
I will say, Shrek 2 was good. Um, Shrek 3
Right.
was, I would say, is the only, I would say, not good Shrek movie.
The stories were weak.
The only thing that I liked
Stop.
from Shrek 3 was the theater play.
That was good. It's sad that I'm not one that enjoys say musicals or music centric films.
Mhm.
And I'm very picky with them. Like Hamilton, there's one or two songs that I liked, and
Only two.
yeah,
Such.
really only two. Like You'll Be Back with good old King George, which I'm sorry, I heard that
I
song.
will send the bullet
I mean,
on
I
the
like the songs
stallion
of
to
Hamilton. I
remind you
just
of
think the
my love.
story is goddamn stupid.
Very true. I'm sorry. You'll Be Back. When Hamilton dropped and I heard the song You'll Be Back, that made me almost want to take the American flag off my shoulder and put the Union Jack that I kept in my pocket for luck that I got from a friend of mine and put that on in its place and go, "You know what? Let's forget this entire
Convert.
1775 thing. We made a mistake. We had a good run. We're sorry." We've made some mistakes. We apologize. There was a small part. All right, I was weak at the time, but my British cousins across the pond were sorry. Um, there was a small part, but you know what? I am still a proud American, and
Thank.
but there are times. Then I remember British food when I had it, and I go, you know what? I'm glad I'm an American because I cannot survive on beans and toast and tuna
Right.
fish on
Valid.
shredded beef. I cannot
Oh, I might have a
survive jacket
theme in
potato
that
with tuna.
regard.
But then you have that movie where you have to fast forward through all of Shrek, and you're having to go through different songs. But yeah, with the relationships you have in there, you've also got another relationship in the Shrek films where it's the three little pigs and the wolf. You see that
Right.
kind of little weird centric relationship that they've built in there.
Hmm.
It's kind of like caretaker-ish they've done. It's a
Mhm.
little weird. Um, it's not something I would have thought of for them to do. That was a kind of interesting play that they did. They played around with a lot of relationships in the Shrek movies to
Yeah.
kind of play on like, hey, there's almost a play of here's the fairy tales, but here's what it really was. Almost like humans put their own shade of color on it, but here's what it really happened.
Yeah.
There should have been a fourth little pig that made his house out of wolf skulls.
Oh, that would have been epic. But it was like they made the wolf a cross-dresser.
I know.
And I loved
It's
her.
supposed to be both the
I
wolf
Yeah,
from Three Little
the wolf's
Pigs.
just vibing.
the
What?
wolf is just
Right, but it's supposed to
vibing.
be both the wolf from the Three Little Pigs as well as the wolf from Little Red Riding Hood, apparently.
Yes, like they're
Lol.
both.
Yeah.
So like the wolf from Little Red Riding Hood, that's their male identity, but as soon as they're cross-dressing, they adopt this female persona because they're cross-dressing and they're using she her pronouns and I went, I love her.
Drag wolf. Drag wolf.
Rag
Let's
wolf.
go.
And I went,
Yeah.
she slays. I went, I love her.
But,
Key.
Rabbit, do you see the meme I've got up?
Let me pull it. The me. Oh dear. Ch-
Wait,
Churchill
what
is
meme
dead,
is
my
that on
brother.
your?
The planes are no longer overhead.
Oh.
You don't have to eat like this. Cheese and onion cob. Oh, that is the worst rendition of a cheese and onion, but you're not wrong.
Yeah, they still eat like that. It's like, why?
Yes. Oh my God. Well, I mean, there's a reason. There's a reason that like British food,
Still eat like it's going through World War II.
Yeah.
they
And
do.
someone commented back, it's like, well, why does America eat like they have free healthcare?
Yes.
That's true.
I will not argue that. But like with British food, it's like, why is it that quintessential British food is Indian takeout and delivery?
Not even good.
Probably because just the high number of Indians that live in
Yes.
Britain.
And maybe also probably, colonization.
Uh-huh. Like I visit so when I was in the UK very, very briefly, uh a fellow that I was doing left seat, right seat, which is basically we have a UK counterpart that I was working with says, mate, let's get some good British food. And I went, cool. I'm thinking a full Colonel's breakfast or something, but it's later in the afternoon. I'm thinking, all right, it's too late for breakfast. What are we gonna do? And we go and get chicken tikka. I went, dude, this is Indian food. And I went, yeah, you're in England. You got to have British food. And I went, this is not British. This is Indian. Then he explains to me, well, chicken tikka is technically not Indian food because it was invented here in the UK. And then the waiter went, actually, it was invented in Scotland.
Mhm.
All right, so this still isn't even British. It's Scottish. Like,
That was
oh,
weird.
this is,
I mean-
yeah. And I didn't know that. So I learned like chicken tikka was actually invented in Scotland. I went, all right, this is getting out of hand. But other weird relationships.
I will say, I won't go into every detail, but me and Lady Stone are definitely a odd couple that definitely work.
Oh yeah.
She describes it as she is the dark, brooding cat. I am the golden retriever.
Oh man.
My love, can you hear me?
Yeah, that might be all of us.
What
The
do
way I
you
described our
mean?
relationship, that's definitely true, right?
You're this happy-go-lucky guy, and it's like I'm the horrible black cat. It's like everyone's gonna die, and you appear out of nowhere, going, "Oh, fun! I'm gonna
Death,
kill you."
destruction, murder.
Pretty much, yeah.
No, I'm not
Gosh.
going to kill them with love. I'm going to kill them with hugs. Home.
I'm ruining your darkness.
And I am home with you.
Oh, or how about this? Because I know Stone and I are both playing and streaming Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 right now.
Mm-hmm.
How about the relationship in between Hans Capon and Henry of Skalitz?
Yeah, whether or not you choose the romantic option or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's as a friendship, it's odd, but it somehow works.
The
Like-
bromance. The bromance alone.
Mhm.
Whether or not you want to grow the relationship to be something more is so real.
Yeah.
It is it's so viable too.
Like,
Because even in the first game, number one,
Yeah.
Hans in the first game, you want to hate him from the get-go.
Mhm.
He is a snotty, selfish, loudmouth, obtuse, self-centered bastard.
Mhm.
Not from birth, just a bastard. And you go out and you're just doing everything he wants, and he is chirping. Then,
Yeah.
of course, because it is from the first game, you save him. But you have that bonding moment. And you're poking, but they both poke fun at each other off of everything. And you're always getting into scraps together. You're getting into fun. So then you fast forward. I know, at least on my stream, there's this moment where during the wedding, mini spoiler for those who have not played the game, or gotten to the point, there is a wedding gift that goes missing. And
Oh,
the
no.
person who brought this wedding gift is
Right, the sword.
describing.
From Radovan.
So Radovan brings a sword that's supposed to be a wedding gift, and he's describing this person. And just from the personality, now I already had seen Hans Capon had come to the wedding, and you've had a mini falling out with this person now.
Yeah.
So he's describing this person in personality and how they're acting, and I pause the game and I look at the camera and go, fucking Hans! I'm just mad. Because there's only one person who acts this way, and it's Hans. So immediately I'm thinking this man has stolen this sword.
Yep.
Because that's 100% something he would do. So you as a player and a person, you learn about this person.
Yeah.
So that's a relationship that has grown to me as a player, but also a character with Henry. You've been able to grow. And I think that's something Warhorse does very, very well.
Mhm.
They're able to make characters and story that you just naturally are able to learn about people and
Yeah.
how they work. So you can, love or hate people depending on how they strike you. For me,
Yeah.
it's, I love this man, but damn it.
Because he piss you off sometimes.
I love this bro. Or when in the very beginning of the game, when Oates dies,
Die for this, bro.
I'm gonna kill this bro. I love you, bro, but I'm gonna punch you.
Right.
I don't know whether to punch you or kiss you, so I'm gonna do both.
I have had and in real life, I've had bromance like that in real life where I have had in one moment, I've had heart to hearts with this guy in a 24-hour span. I have had a heart to heart with a guy. Then we've gone through something, life and death situation, had an argument and a fight about it, with it, and then later that night we're spooning together under a sleeping system or a bed because it is
Aw.
20 degrees outside and we're freezing. And then the
Right.
next morning,
Oh, yeah.
we're like joking again and laughing about us fighting about something, and then the cycle repeats. And we're best friends to this day.
Basically a married
Hell
couple.
yeah.
It's a married couple. It really is. And you know what? No, we may not have rings from each other, but there is no amount of intimacy that any marriage could ever compare to
Yeah,
that.
I see that.
It's so weird. And we're both married to our own spouses. But whenever we're on the phone together, we'll say, "Love you, baby." And he goes, "Love you too, boo." And then his wife will go, "Who the hell are you talking to?" I'm talking to Squirrel. And she'll go, "Oh, okay." Because
Just oh,
So
oh,
come on.
oh,
Normalize
she's
saying
just
I love you with
yeah.
friends.
She's like,
It's like
"Oh,
it
they're
is.
just accepting it. They're just, oh, okay."
But Lady Stone asked, when are y'all gonna divorce your respective spouses and then get married?
It was really close at one point. Before
Oh
either of
my.
us got married, we were,
Lord.
we were really at that point. It was like, bro, we're broke. We should just get married. That way we can both get housing and we can get out of the barracks and like we'll just
Marrying for the
whatever.
benefits.
Me personally, I guess this is an IRL strange relationship. So I had a friend in the military who he wasn't gay. All right. So him and another guy got married. So they could get out of the barracks. They could get out of the barracks and they could whatever. Fast forward 5 years. The two guys are still married. They insist they're not gay. However, they've adopted 2 boys.
Sounds
Yeah, they're
pretty
not.
gay to me.
Yeah, they're not.
Eh,
Sure,
I
they're
mean,
not
you
gay.
know, yeah.
Sure, they're not
That's
gay,
why you
but they
support-
but they have 2
Wow.
boys that they've adopted. They go to Pilates together. Okay.
Yeah, that
But
sounds
they're
like that filthy Frank meme where he's just
yeah,
going.
they're told it's like, yeah, I'm waiting for I'm waiting for my partner to back out. Oh yeah, they use phrases like partner.
Okay.
Part
Now,
got it.
now
Got
even
it.
Mila just like, okay,
Got
so you're
it.
sure you're not
You're sure you're not gay. Got it. But they'll say jokes like, "I'm pretty sure my husband's gay," and like things like that. I'm like, bro, I think you're gay.
Yeah.
But they're
Eh,
healthy
you
relationship.
know,
But yeah, 5 years down the road, they're
yeah.
still married together. It's a healthy relationship with the 2 of them. They're both still in the military at this point. They're doing fine. And
that is crazy.
it's like, okay, and there isn't anything extramarital on the side. So per the Uniform Code of Military Justice, it's not illegal. It is not breaking the Uniform Code of Military Justice because there isn't anything extramarital going on.
Yeah.
They're just happen to be married together. Have commanders been upset about this? Yes, because they're like, you're playing the system. And they looked at it and said, no, we're not, because we're married to each other and there isn't anything extramarital going on.
Yeah.
But it just so happens they're happy together because they're like, dude, being married to another guy is awesome. We don't live in the barracks anymore. We're stable. We're happy. We both work at the same place. We both love sports. We don't have to argue about what we're going to have for dinner. We get to like save money on the streaming services because we don't have to do all of it. And it's like they're talking all this stuff and me and my friends are sitting back going, dude, that's a sweet deal.
I'm
Like,
scared
um,
relationship.
like, you guys, what? He was like, dude,
Hold
this
on.
is the best thing we've ever done.
Hold on, Rabbit. What were you saying, my love?
I said I'm going to cut in and kind of input my own weird relationship I had with another girl. She's my best friend. We still talk, and everyone outside of our little weird mind meld thought we were dating each other. It's like, no, we just like each other's presence. Yeah, but y'all go in the same dressing room because she needs help zipping up some dresses. Or why do y'all like lounge on each other. Well, I'm bigger and more squishy, so she likes leaning on me because I'm more comfortable. And also, I'm a fucking heater.
You
She gets
are.
cold easily.
Yeah.
So naturally, she's going to want to sit on me than anybody else.
Yep.
Also, I'm her friend. So we just had like no boundaries. Like she would sometimes come up to me and go, "What do you think of this bra?" And I'd be like, "Oh, that looks nice. But how does it feel?" And just talking weird stuff like that. And just didn't care. Or she'd go, "Look at this weird scar," and she'd pull up her shirt and show me. I'd be like, "Whoa."
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with me. It's just we had no boundaries, but everyone thought we were dating. And my mom used to be very close-minded about gay relationships. Didn't like them, you know. And like I said, we were hanging out so much, so my mom came to the conclusion I must be gay. So one night we were out and about, and we were just sitting in the car talking, not doing anything. I went, "Oh gosh, look at the time! I better get inside." Mom's probably worried sick. I go in there. My brother's got this shit-eating grin on his face, sitting on the couch, and my mom is standing at the doorway, tears in her eyes. And I'm like, "Oh God, who died?" Wait, my brother looks pretty pleased with himself. Okay. Just, "Hi, Mom. Sorry I'm late. I know, past curfew." And she goes, "Sarah, I just want you to know I love you with all my heart. No matter what happens, I will always be your mother, and I love you."
Oh, you gotta go, Andy? All right.
Oh.
Bye, bye, Andy.
Bye bye.
Be safe, Andy.
All right.
And I was like, "Well, I love you too, Mom. Thanks. What the hell?" And she goes, "But I need you to answer this one question." Okay. "Are you gay?" What? I'm sorry, Mom. What? "Are you gay?" No. Where is this coming from? It's just you and Kimberly hang out so much. Mom, I don't even know if I'm into guys either. "Oh my God, you're bisexual." No. And I meant to say is I think I'm probably more asexual than anything. I still love you, and I just want you to know that I welcome you and Kimberly. We're not dating. Oh my God. Good night, Mother. And I text my friend. I'm like, "Oh my God." She goes, "Oh, that's hilarious. By the way, do you want to come to a family event I have to go to?" Sure. It's a family dinner. Everyone's laughing. I'm just mingling with everybody. We're doing great. And finally, her sister goes, "Y'all just make a really cute couple. Who's she talking to?" And I realized she's looking right at me. I went, "Huh?" And she goes, "Yeah, when y'all both going to come out of the closet? This is the perfect time to do it." I'm not even in a closet. What are you talking about? Wait.
Oh.
And finally my friend goes, "Wait, you think we're dating?" "Well, yeah, y'all spend ample amounts of time together. Why aren't you dating?" "Because we don't swing that way." Oh my God, my mother confronted me at the door. Next, I'm being confronted by her family. "Wait, y'all aren't gay?" "No, we just really enjoy each other's company." Why is everyone silent? Why is everyone silent? Somebody please say something. Well, if you enjoy each other's company, not in that way. We are just friends. If she wants to see a movie, I go see the movie. If I want to go to the library, she's right behind me.
Right.
"Yeah, but I saw you go in the same dress." "She needed help zipping up a dress, and you said no." Why am I getting angry? So yeah, everyone thought we were dating. Even Clay's friends were like, "That is a weird relationship. Like, she is sitting on her lap."
Yeah.
And it's like, I know.
Whatever. I've sat on my buddy's lap. So I had a friend of mine who's approximate my size, who was another medic. He was probably a little larger than me. Again, another long-term friend. At this point, I was married, he's married. He got slotted to play Unit Santa Claus for the kids at a unit Christmas party. And when I found out about it, my wheels started turning weeks ahead of this and said, I know what I'm going to do. and you're already picking up what I'm putting down. So sure enough, as soon as all the kids were done most of the kids were done sitting on Santa's lap, I go running up to the front and I plopped on his lap, threw my arms around him, and started swinging my legs and went, "I've been such a good boy." And immediately every camera phone was out, snagging pictures. And he's patting my chest, going, "Ho, ho, ho. Have you been a good little boy this year? I've been such a good boy.
That's
I'm a
awesome.
I'm a grown A man, and I'm just
Supposed to be dating because
beaming."
she'll get hit on by creeps, and I've gone up
Oh
to her
gosh.
and like full on kissed her and like let her be
Yeah,
like,
keep 'em out.
"There's my baby. I am so sorry I left you. Where I just, I had to go to the bathroom." And she's like, "This is my girlfriend." And I'm like,
Oh,
"Yes, what do you?"
that's a good friend.
The classic strategy. Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
Until it backfires.
Like I said, I'm bigger and I'm more squishy and I'm a heater. So when it's cold, she'll just sit on me and I'm like, okay. And I'll hold her basically like a girlfriend or a kid and just bounce her on my knee. And she's just happy as a clam. And people go, "Why are you bouncing her?" I said, one thing, I need to fidget. Two, can't help it. And three, she hasn't said to stop. And she's like, "I don't mind.
But
Go faster."
one aspect of the dynamic between Henry and Hans I meant to bring up is that by like the battle by what was that? Nebak. The Fortress of Nebak. Henry and Hans, like between their little breakup and like the wedding and that battle, they've developed this dynamic where it's like Hans is the actual noble who has to like speak to the nobleman like von Burgau, and Henry's just the muscle. he just goes in,
Yes.
he just goes in and fucks people up.
It really is. It's and you see Hans is starting to kind of Hans. I appreciate that he's starting to grow into it by that point where he's had that realization of he can't just spout off and talk about what it's like to be a noble and to come from noble birth. He's having to step up.
Yeah.
And it starts with having to take this missive at the beginning of the second game.
Yeah.
Like, hey, this is what it means to be a noble. Like, I have to do this. This is me on this mission to act as a courier, as an envoy, to talk with these people, to take these actions for the good of the Lords of Lipa. And now I have to intermingle and play politics and do all these things and take part in the royal court and, put myself out there politically. But
actually, like
he also knows
the whole politics thing.
he's got Henry in his pocket. And Henry also knows that he's probably the only person that Hans has that Hans can rely on to do things and to act kind of like you said, the muscle. So it's kind of funny where if it's like out of game, you kind of can imagine, if this is a world thing, if Hans Capon is talking to someone and Henry's kind of behind him, geared out and ready to brawl, and he's been out there fighting and killing and has a reputation at this point. If Hans is talking to someone and this other lord is talking with Hans and looks over his shoulder and he's heard of Henry of Skalitz, he's like, I cannot fuck with Hans because that fucker back there has won several tournaments in Kuttenberg and has killed I don't know how many people.
Yeah,
Okay,
if I'm too mean to this bloke, that other one will punch me.
That's Henry, the Skull Reaper. That's Henry, the Shadow of Skalitz. That's Henry, the Skull Render. Okay, this man is a killer, and he only answers to Hans Capen. I don't know if Henry is either a mad dog or a dog on a leash. And if there's a leash, that man, Hans Capen, is the one who holds it. So if I don't want to fall under that man's blade, I need to be good with Hans Capen.
Exactly.
So I need to watch my mouth because as soon as I say the wrong thing, it's not Hans Capen I'm going to be in trouble with. It's not
Henry
the Lords of
Scalise.
Lipa I'm going to be in trouble with. It's Henry. Because
Man
even if
crush.
Hans doesn't say kill him,
It's fun to
as
be
soon
Henry.
as that man leaves the room, Henry's just going to kill me.
Yeah.
As a character on whole, I think he has a man crush on Henry.
Do you,
100%.
Rabbit? Do you have a man crush on Henry?
I kind of do. I really kind of do.
The
And
heck's a man crush?
a man
Thorin
crush.
Oakenshield?
So
Yeah.
it's
From
not
The Hobbit?
it's
Yeah.
not a romantic. It's not a romantic crush, but it's very
Well,
much like
It, when we say man crush, it's more of like a platonic man.
Yeah.
That guy is sexy,
That's a
but
dude.
I would sleep with him. But man, that
Mhm.
guy is sexy.
Yeah, kind of like I
Yeah.
want to be
Hey.
that guy.
I
Yeah.
want to be that
My
dude.
So
brother-
just like, oh right, okay,
Like
from
if
I get
I
it.
was going
Kind of
to
mix of an aesthetic attraction and
Yeah.
just like
yeah,
inspiration.
aesthetic. Like that's
Yeah,
a
like
dude.
Nate, I think
like,
your man
I-
crush is Bardock, right?
Eh, From what you describe, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
half and half, I guess. I don't know. Again, like he's a guinea as well.
Yeah.
So,
Well, then
Yeah,
who would
like
you
a
say
hundred
your
I would
full
wanna
on
be
man
Henry.
crush is?
Huh?
If you had a like full on man crush, who would you say it is? If not Bardock.
okay, I don't know. I would have to think about that.
Oh
Okay.
man.
Well, then
I'm-
we'll circle back to that.
If I'm trying to think of who Nate's would be,
it's more like I want to
Mm-mm.
be with that person to kiss
It's-
them or something. But when we say man crush, it's kind of platonic, but it's like, man, I want to be like him, or that is the kind of guy I totally would like.
hmm
Like my brother has a man crush on Dean from Supernatural. He doesn't
Ugh.
want to like sleep with him. It's just more like, dude, that guy is awesome.
Yeah.
So he kind of dresses like him and wears the same ring on his finger.
Okay,
like-
okay, yeah. If I keep like like saying it kind of to the wind, but also like just like if I had like the arm warmers and the red
Definitely
I
Bardock. then?
yeah, I
Yeah.
would wear what he wears.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not
Nothing stopping ya.
particularly about you want to sleep with him or
Money.
anything. It's more of like, wow, that would be so awesome to be.
Yeah. Like,
Mhm.
let's see, what was I gonna say? Like with Thor and Oakenshield, I kind of
that's yeah.
felt, huh?
I think I know what you're going with relationships.
Right, but with there's this moment in like, okay, first of all, with like, I'm gonna defend the Hobbit trilogy. I actually think it's good. I
Mhm.
don't think it's as good as the original Lord of the Rings trilogy. I think that's what everyone gives it shit for. That it's just not quite as good as that, and so everyone just writes it off as bad. It's like, no, it's not bad. It's just not as good as a fucking masterpiece, and it's like, fine, it's not as good as what was a masterpiece of a trilogy, but they're still good movies. But
Oh yeah.
yeah, but that being said, there's this moment where they're at the campfire, and Balin is talking about their attempt to take back Moria and how it failed, but then Thorin rose up and killed. Well, in the books he kills Azog. In the movies he just cuts his arm off. But he, led the charge in beating back, the orcs and everything. And so there's this moment where Balin says, there is one man I would call captain. There is one man I would call king. And then there's that shot of Thorin turning around and the music kind of swells and all the dwarves are just looking at him. It's like they realize this is our leader. This is the man we respect. We will, charge into hell and back for this guy. And that's the moment that, kind of made me get my man crush on Thorin Oakenshield. At least, at the very least, Richard Armitage's portrayal of him. Of course, if J.R.R. Tolkien were alive today, who knows how he would interpret, the original trilogy and the Hobbit movies, and rather the Jackson verse as a whole. Because Christopher Tolkien, his son, he doesn't like them, but at the same time, I don't know. I feel like Christopher is not like as into his father's work as he claims to be. You know, all he did was just piece together his dad's notes and do his best with his interpretation for the Silmarillion, and that's about it. You know?
Yeah, that's a very good point. I couldn't have said it better myself. And he did the best he could, because if
Yeah.
you look at the notes as a whole, they're all over the place.
Yeah.
The tism was strong with Tolkien. It was
Yeah.
haphazard. The only one who knew how those notes fit together was going to be the man himself.
Yeah.
Um,
That, and honestly, I love Tolkien, but towards the end of his life, he was getting a little loopy.
very.
Yeah, one of his ideas was that the seventh age of Middle Earth was basically just our Earth. AKA, it's just our same history, all of it. And it's like, how the fuck does that work?
Yeah, that's
Right.
awesome.
It's like, I think he was just going a little senile and loopy. So it's just like, that's a part of Tolkien that I'm just gonna kind of ignore because it makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah, I think he was probably trying. I think it was those parts. It was probably. I think he was trying to work himself backward.
Yeah.
Like how would I think where he was trying to go to with those was how would Middle Earth turn to now? And he was
And-
trying to work himself backward. I think Tolkien was very much one of those creatives that he had more ideas than he had time.
right.
And I wish he had more
Relatable.
time. And it's heartbreaking that genius such as that is not granted enough sand in the hourglass, as it were.
Yeah.
But I'm grateful that we got what we did from him, and I sincerely hope that Tolkien somehow is aware of the impact he has made.
If there's an afterlife,
I sincerely hope there's a way that
I think yes.
folks become aware of what, like, there's a snapshot moment, or like you said, there's an afterlife where folks are aware of, hey, here's the impact you made. There's some sort of revelation of it. I sincerely hope there is, that you're not completely cut off from it. I sincerely hope that they're told, hey, same with dogs. Like, was I a good boy? You were a good boy.
You were the best.
You were the best
Yeah.
boy.
Just like with Ringo, we made sure he knew he was the best boy before he left.
Get him chocolate. Every, like, the picture of the bowl of chocolate at the veterinarian station. It's like, so because no dog should go to heaven without tasting chocolate. There you go. Then, but with Thorin Oakenshield, there's an interesting thought too. The relationship in between Thorin Oakenshield and Bilbo, because you see that relationship change a lot. And the last moment between Bilbo and Thorin, I know I've mentioned this one before, where when Thorin dies and Bilbo turns to Gandalf and says, "At least we parted on good terms.
Yeah.
We parted in friendship." But he cannot cry. He cannot grieve.
Yeah.
And I don't think he grieves. Bilbo does not grieve in earnest until he meets Frodo in Rivendell. That's century. That's almost a century, I think. It's like 50. Yeah, it's like 50 years, 50 or 60 years later. So he holds that grief for the better part of half a century. That's pain. That is true pain that he's held on to. And the things that he gives away, all of them hold memories of Thorin Oakenshield and the rest of the brotherhood that he had, including the ring, everything. And he watches everyone die except for Gloin. Gloin is like the only one alive which he sees come to Rivendell with Gimli. That's
Yep.
it. That's the only one. Because at that point, he doesn't know that Dwalin is dead.
Or
No,
Balin, yeah.
actually, or Balin, yeah. No one knew. No one knew that they were dead in Moria. They,
Yeah.
for all they knew, they were still there because they thought, oh yeah, everything's going great there. We just haven't heard anything.
Yeah.
It's an absolute nightmare. So it's so nuts. And then you also have the relationship in between Gimli and Legolas.
Legolas, yeah.
So that's a cool relationship that happens in because it's not just, two people. It turns into a relationship between two races.
Well,
Because-
relationships between two races that have long held animosity between each
Mhm.
other because the elves
Yeah.
treat the dwarves like they shouldn't exist. Because based on the mythology in the Silmarillion, the elves are just like, these are a bunch of greedy, short little assholes who
Yeah.
came second into this world after we did, and they weren't even a full-on creation of Eru Iluvatar. They were a creation of one of Eru's children. And it's like, these little guys just should not exist. What are they doing here? All they ever do is just fuck things up with their greed.
Yeah.
And yet,
And they're far more
Gimli and
industrious.
Legolas became friends.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it's on one hand, you have one race that just flourishes and grows and thrives, the natural wonder of the world that has been created, and then the other one literally undermines it.
Yeah.
So
Listen,
it's complete
literally minds
disparity.
under it.
Yeah, it's complete disparity in between the two. They're polar opposites. So then, I love the whole line. Legolas, 2 already. I'm on 17. What?
What?
What did me? Just that whole in the movie when you have that the two actors just completely encapsulated the characters.
Oh
Just-
yeah, John Rhys
they-
Davies and Orlando Bloom, they just
they're great actors for it. They did fantastic on it. They're just perfect for it. And you could tell also there was chemistry in between the actors. Number one. Number two, the characters are written in the original works with chemistry. That's fantastic. And then you look after the books when you find the extended histories after Lord of the Rings and the War of the Rings and everything else, you find that when Isildur's heir and Aragorn takes the extended kingdoms and starts rebuilding everything, and the extended wars against the Dark Kingdoms and the Northern Kingdoms of Man. Legolas gets his the reins over the forests, and Gimli goes over to take over the mines in where did he take? I think he
Blue
gets
Mountains, right?
yeah, the Blue Mountains, but they're fairly close to each other. So then they start working together, and then they go off on another adventure. There's even more of it, and then there's journeys and everything else, and it's just they find themselves together again, and it's like, hey, I haven't seen my elf buddy in like 100 years. Let's go find out. So you just imagine you've got like 500-year-old war buddies are just going to go trudging through Middle Earth together and just reminiscing, just making up trouble the whole time, drinking and swilling and doing whatever, just because they can. And they're hilarious together. And I love that. You get, I guess you have other relationships that are similar. The tropes of, say, the long-lived race and the mortal race relationship trope. You get a lot of that in like animes, you get those in movies, like whether it be the vampire and the human, you have the dragon and the human, trying to think, elves and humans, other things, because those also fall into mythology. There's a lot of mythology with it.
Oh,
One of the most famous has to be in Japanese lore. There's the fisherman and the undersea kingdom,
Right.
where a fisherman falls overboard. He gets pulled down into the undersea kingdom, and the immortal princess of the undersea kingdom. One day is 1 month there, and he's there for say 20 years or something, living with the undersea princess who's immortal. And when he comes back, it's like 200 years in the future, and
Right.
he is so distraught he winds up returning. So
Huh.
you have these stories far surpass anything in fiction. It also goes back into culture, religion, mythology. It's a widespread concept with relationships and it being in between the normative character and the non-formative character.
not what?
Non-formative, meaning to say something beyond the mortal realm, like a
Yeah.
normal human, or someone
Mhm.
relatable to you and I. So, be they alien, supernatural, immortal, or a god, non-formative.
Right.
Mhm.
That's sort of like how, I guess, to put this more up Nate's alley, as we're getting close to wrap this up, so that way everybody has a little bit of equal breakdown time.
Oh, sorry.
With Nate, that definitely is what you observe when it comes to Beerus and Weiss, when it comes to everybody else they end up dealing with, like how Beerus and Whis, they definitely view like mortals like Goku and everyone else sort of as inferiors, but at the same time they get kind of fascinated by them.
Oh yeah.
Like,
I yeah, just like what do they do next? Let's see. Let's grab popcorn.
yeah, because it's like they're impressed by their vigor and attempts to actually fight them, even though they don't stand a chance. But at the same time, the moment they actually land a punch, it's like, huh, this is actually getting a little interesting. Like when
Hmm.
Vegeta, of course, has his "My Bulma" moment where he actually lays out Beerus as hard as he can. And then, of course,
Yeah.
there's the fact that there's also what I know you saw what happened in Daima, and it's going around the internet lately. How Vegeta's fighting that Demon King, and Bulma wants him to stop fighting, and he's like, "But I can't stop," and she's like, "If you don't stop, we're not taking a bath together ever again." And
Yeah.
he immediately stops, and it's
Mhm,
like
mhm, mhm. Yep.
OG
He
Vegeta from like the
he
beginning of
he
Dragon
likes his
Ball
bath
Z.
time now.
Yeah, he
Huh?
would have not listened to her at all. But
Mhm.
Vegeta has changed so much as a character. He now actually respects her opinion, regardless of
Yeah.
whether or not she's human. You
Hmm.
know, he loves his wife.
He's
And
whipped.
he loves his bath time.
Yep. But we're getting close to an hour now, so we'll do
Yeah.
it's up to app. That was my
Up
comb.
to what?
That was
Lol.
my bronze comb that Lady Stone got me.
Ooh.
But we'll open this up to closing thoughts now. I guess I'll start. Um, when it comes to like interesting relationships that you don't think will work, um, it's sort of just a give it time kind of thing. With any relationship at all. It might start off rocky. You might not like someone, but then you spend a little bit more time and a little bit more time with them, and then you find out you jive together. You just do, you know.
Jive.
Um, and it's weird sometimes. It's weird, but it works. So I'll say that. Nate, you go ahead and give your closing thoughts.
Well, okay. Originally, when I was kind of like, when I suggested this, I was just, maybe like talking about like more models, like maybe, even like discuss like, the mono and poly, but, or poly A, just like, anyways, but,
Ah,
we can leave that for the 1st of May thing.
okay.
And so for this, for what we've discussed here, and I can safely say that I'm definitely like one of my friendships is definitely like forming to be this kind of like just like two weird goofballs enjoying life.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I
All right.
hope it will keep evolving that way.
Yeah.
You
All right,
know,
Rabid.
and for all the
Oh,
people listening, value like your shit and have fun.
all right. All right. So, Rabid, your closing thoughts?
Uh, I would say whether it is a real life relationship or a fictional relationship in media, they're all valuable. Sometimes they change, sometimes they end, but the time that you have with them is valuable no matter what, no matter how long or short. And they're all unique in their own way. And no matter what other people say or think about them, as long as it brings happiness to those involved with it, that on both sides of it, then it's good to have. And that's what is important. Um, it's not a popular opinion to a lot of folks, but that's that's not what matters. Um, so that is the most valuable thing of it. As someone on the creative side of it, like I've written traditional relationships, I've written uh, non-traditional relationships. So I value giving characters those kinds of ideals and values because it grows people. As humans, we're not solitary creatures. You need to have someone or something, whether it's a person, a place, or a thing. It holds value.
And with any story, friction in a relationship always works. And it always makes for better writing.
Truth. As a as a person who wants to write like some shit, I am like adding like a little lo- rough part or even several rough parts because A, realism, and B, story.
Oh yeah, no relationship is ever going to be smooth sailing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't proof that truth right there. All right, but we'll go ahead and wrap it up here. Today's stream is going to be finishing up my Silent Hill 2 dog run. If I finish that run early, I'll do the start on the next funny ending, which is the UFO ending.
Ooh.
But Nate, go ahead and close us out.
Goodbye, pebbles across all platforms. This has been the Idiots Podcast.